Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to more Ori. And oh boy, we have a weekend ahead of us. First of all, we have the semifinal right now, featuring Team Storytime versus Coos Bird Bath. And I'm casting it today. My name is Tukil, and on commentary, I'm joined by Lion. Lion, how's it going?
It's going good for sure. It's definitely, as you said, this is one of the semifinal matches, second of the two semifinals, and it's definitely going to be a really exciting match to see. This is the second and third place teams from the Swiss stage, and so they both finished with 3 wins and 1 loss, so definitely should be a very close match, and one we're excited to see.
I do think Team. Oh, yeah, Team Storytime did take a lose. That is true. In the last round, against our one finalist team that already won their semifinal, and they will be up against the winner of this match tomorrow. And yeah, we're already going to start the race, so we have our timer set. What are you hoping for, Lion? What kind of seed do you want to see?
Um, I'd really like to see, like, both see the crowd is kind of like a lot of stuff the runners need to know, like a lot of like is requires a lot of skill and can really show like who I guess is really like the better team who both for with execution as well as for um kind of knowledge based stuff that they need to know to succeed. Um, and we'll see what we get. But definitely gonna be a good match. So we get started here in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and we did get a bit of an insight from Team Storytime. Muffin stated that they didn't really have a lot of time to practice together this week, mainly doing solo seeds. And yeah, Muffin is kind of hoping for an early dash seed because he thinks he has the advantage for those kind of seeds. We will see how that goes. I know that Koo's Bird Bath is hoping for clean water, kind of where their name comes from, and especially with clean. Oh, that's the wrong event. That's not quite clean water. That is wind restored as our first pickup, and kind of points towards a wind restored glide start, which would make some parts of the later game easier, even though we don't seem to have a Sorrow Relic.
Yeah, for sure. Because Wind Restore does become useful since we don't have Pick of Sorrow. But there's still some pickups, especially early on, that we can get with Glut and Wind. So we'll see if that does end up being the early progression. It might not be. There are times that you can get seeds where you get Wind early, but then there's another item in one of the other really checks. Like they've just found one keystone, they make it another keystone, and then Wind isn't needed for another 20 minutes. So we'll see if that does end up being the case, or if we get something else soon. As you said, no relic in Sorrow, and there are also no relics in Glades or Grotto, which is another really interesting thing because those are two early game areas that runners in general most likely want to spend the most time in because the areas that are easiest to get to and have a lot of pickups. So we'll see if that kind of changes with the early game routing. If we see more players going to Swamp or Grove, or spending more time in Blackroot as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We will have to see how they decide to spend their time. Muffin also mentioned that Team Storytime is kind of hoping for an early left side access and early power skills just overall to be able to spill it up more often, but there it is, the glide. Yeah, that
Yeah.
enables one more pickup to be, well, in logic. And we also see, very interesting to me, Dedew picking up the extra experience here. So he's probably going to be the designated runner for Blackwood Burrows with that extra experience. You can do the save anywhere more easily. He's trying to get that experience because he wants that ability point. But for now, just continue into Blades. We haven't seen a runner go for the pickup yet. Muffin is attempting it, yes. So on the top left, we will be getting that knowledge here. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like wall interaction or something.
Yeah, definitely could be. We'll see. It does just end up being a keystone, so wasn't actually required as of yet. Could still be required to get into Spirit Caverns later, as both of our teams have also found the first Water Vein Shard on the 4th house cell, so we'll see if that ends up giving us some early Ginso access. There is a Ginso relic, so we will need to go there eventually, but those can also be confusing. We might just get no other shards for another half hour.
Yeah, early Ginzo access is also very interesting in terms of revisiting. If the relic ends up being in the second half, but our runners only have like wall on direction and double jump, then you can go through the first half of Ginzo, but you don't really have a way up. So it will be interesting to see what they prioritize, whether they go for that immediately or decide to wait for a bit longer. However, we see both the Dedew in the bottom left and Cleanfel in the top right going for wall jump tree. It's out of the way, and if there's nothing important here, they will tell their players, the other player in the team, to not move here. But it is climb, so that is our progression.
Yeah, that is definitely something that they will need to go and get. And I believe that they had checked, as for now, basically everything else that they could have gotten with the pickups in wall jump loop as well as the Halcyon, and so now just some XP on the energy cell behind wall jump, but we see both Clean and Dedew TPing back street to go into Blackroot. There is a relic there, and there's not one in Glade, so it does make more sense to go into Blackroot now rather than sending the first runner into Spirit Caverns.
Yeah, and however, there's this one pickup in the bottom left. I'm still not sure if that got updated with 4.0 or not. It definitely feels a lot easier than previous editions of the randomizer, but it's still not an easy pickup to get. You need to know where to be, how to move around, how to use climb to the best of your ability. So we will see how our runners are doing with that. For now, the orb room has definitely been updated to be a bit more lenient so you don't fall off of these as easily, but for now, yeah. Clean got it immediately. The Dedew also on the left side already and up. And we're getting our second energy cell. Now that is quite interesting because it allows for a nice trick if our players to choose to do it.
Yeah, for sure, we could use that to be able to get quickly into the grotto with the Rocky Walk, although there's also no relic in grotto, so it doesn't end up being the most useful place for them to go, but still somewhere that they will need to go eventually for sure. But still, more checks to do in Blackroot Burrows for now, as we also see HalCyon in the top left and bottom right are going to be checking some extra pickups in the Blades Loop and are going to maybe go over to Spirit Caverns as well. We'll see. Looks like Muffin is heading that way, and there are some other pickups they can get in that area, and that could definitely be the progression as well.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of unchecked potential here. Of course, we don't really have right side access yet. We don't have any blue breakage to get past the Church Flame Tree area or a way to go through the bottom path. So we need to find something. And, well, my guess is just, well, around Sea Flame Tree. That just usually ends up being the progression in so many seeds. And I think Muffin also just constantly mentions it on his stream that that is the area to look out for in the early game. And also using that glide to avoid having to do the micro ledge in Spirit Caverns. Oh wow, charge jump, dash locked on the disc.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we did see also, there is
Oh!
that is also a dash on the dash tree. So Charge Jump is dash locked, but they now also have dash. So both teams now have that. Turns out that what they need is in Blackroot Burrows. And so that is still though not actually access way to the right side of the map. Very two very useful skills right next to each other. But you'll see they still would need like some other skill, whether like it's like a blue breakage or some more energy to go to the right side. But we do see Dedew here is very close to level, so we'll see if he decides to go for a Frankie walk. Something that he does here, as Muffin has made his way up to the Spirit Tree, opting to not skip the cutscene so that he can have that teleporter for later. And it's going to be going into Blackroot, where Hal's going as well, as Clean is now made his way to lower Blackroot, with Dedew doing the Frankie walk, as I was saying.
Yeah, Frankie Walk is such a powerful play. You get so many more pickups in Logic, and they will probably give them enough XP and ability points to just get to Charge Dash and get that blue break, even though it isn't in Logic. So, heads up play here to be able to recognize that you can do that. And also, as a side note, we're now 2 out of 3. We have Climb, we have Charge Jump. Only that grenade is what is keeping us from the beloved grenade jumps. And Muffin is a grenade jump connoisseur, so I'm really excited to see the potential for that, especially with the Blackroot relic that hasn't been found yet. So there is a high chance that we will need to find that grenade this seed. And if that happens, yeah, Muffin is definitely going to be a fan of that. And yeah, for now we are just finding more resources on the side of Dedew. I think that is a Gumon Seal shard here, so
Looks like it.
can use that. And yeah, we also have the 2 power skills that Team Storytime wanted to find early.
Yeah, for sure. And does also open up, as we see what Clean is doing in the top right, it does open up the access to lower Blackroot, which they can go to now, and go over to the grenade tree. Is not something you normally see that often very early, because you need something to need some way to normally dash to be able to get there without in logic. So it definitely still checks that are in logic now. So we'll see if there's end up being anything here. Could definitely be a relic. Doesn't really look like anything on the tree as of yet, but see if there's been anything else in this area as well.
Yeah, and this again is very important for the state of the race because, well, it will tell us if we need that grenade, and so far it sure looks like it. Now J-Hall is also getting his 2 power skills here, and yeah, following kind of in the steps. They haven't really spread up so far, kind of just following each other. And we get a growth teleporter from Dedew, so he has easy access now as well to charge Flame Tree if he so chooses. And can save those. Oh! Okay, Sorrow TP in lower grotto. That is actually massive, because that is left side access with the skills they have. Like, easy left side access. I wouldn't be surprised if pickups on the left side would be in logic right now.
Yeah, for sure, it's definitely, especially since they have climb and charge up and glide and wind, so they can get all the way down to the valley. There is no relic in Sorrow, so it does make that like not quite as nice to want to, as Sorrow location to go right away, but there is still definitely there's still definitely some incentive because you can get into Valley, you can get into Misty, and as well potentially into Forlorn, and just like just it's something they could do early. So we'll see if any of the runners decide to go and do that early. There are still so many other checks they can do now with just charge jump and dash. That is another thing Dew's just found in the Grotto Vault is a Ginzo TP. Definitely could save them some time for sure later on.
Yeah, and he also did it with a nice rock slide. That's just bonus point, and we're kind of seeing everyone trying to do the same logic break, or at least Clean and Muffin going for the same break into Grotto. Clean has 3 energy, so he can just use the energy glitch into the door to get one in there and refill back up, whereas Muffin is doing successful Frankie Borg, saving with a save anywhere here to be extra safe. You hate dying here after doing this long trick, and it also gives you the nice bonus of a bit of a hyperspeed here. So can do that, and is now in Grotto as well, and yeah, Clean just right behind him. But they won't be getting any new information, as Dedew has already been here, at least on the side of Team Storytime.
And the thing to note is that while the sorcerer, I mean, that Hal did end up going to the charge flame tree area and found 2 more energy cells there, so that is now 5 energy and a sunstone shard as well. I see flame, so that does mean that that does become in logic that path into Grotto. So see if it ends up more there, because now they do have access to that with getting through the energy door. So the Frankie Walk itself isn't in logic, but they can there for sure with just 4 energy, as I was going to be doing that now.
Ooh, and Dedew has charge dash now, so that is our blue breakage for the seed, at least for the foreseeable future, so he can break the blue plants, get more pickups, make sure he doesn't miss anything, because Swamp does have a relic here. And also, yeah, just for ease of access, charge dash, especially if we end up getting bash, is just such a nice movement tool, and just speeds everything up, and it also just verticality goes up, quite literally, with that skill.
Yeah, for sure. We will. Yeah, it doesn't look like Dedew has found the relic in swamp yet, so either grenade locked or in the main area of swamp. So like underwater or by the tree. So still actually something more needed for that, but plenty of else for them to do to get to so many relics that they need. So we'll see. I believe they found the Grove relic as well out by Iceless. So that's one that they need. One less relic they need, but still plenty more to go for now.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of seed left to go, but with charge jump, with dash, well, they're just zooming through the right side at least. It will be interesting to see when someone from Team Storytime goes to the left side. I'm not sure if Team Koo's Birdbath picked up the Sorrow TP. And yeah, it will be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't look like right now, according to the trackers, that Storytime has that Zara TP, or Koo's Birdbath has that Zara TP, so see if they end up going back for that or not. But Al is actually in swamp, so went all the way in and did find the relic as well. So that is now known as you see on the other side. Muffin has found Schizo TP, and it's gonna be going back to check the charge flame area, whereas Dedew is gonna be going into lower Blackroot.
Yeah. We have seen those checks from Cleanfel, I think it was. We have seen them from Koo's Birdbath, so they will not find the relic here, we already know that. And especially because Dedew already checked Dash Plant, it is not in a pickup that Koo's Birdbath hasn't checked yet.
Yeah, so there's a couple more pickups they can get, I believe, that Birdbath didn't check in lower Blackroot, but otherwise still a very decent chance that the relic is grenade locked in Blackroot. I don't think it's 100%, but still a very high chance, so let's see if that is to be the case, and if we get our grenade jumps.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if it comes to it how they decide to go for the grenade. Because there is this incident Forlorn, but Forlorn is out of the way, and yeah, not sure if our runners are going to go for it, especially because, well, getting to Forlorn is just a hassle if you don't have the Forlorn TP.
Yeah, for sure, especially having to climb all the way down from this RTP. With the current skill set, it is something they can do, kind of, but it's like not easy and it takes time. They're also still one shard short. There is a relic in Forlorn, so they will need to go there eventually, but it's not something that they necessarily need to do right now, and so they can wait on for sure. Definitely get that later, so we'll see if they end up finding a grenade before that, or if it's something that they go and search for in Forlorn once they get there.
Yeah, but interesting. J-Hell just found a full Sunstone. Of course, with the skills they have, it's not quite in logic, but it's definitely doable to go to Horu and start clearing some of the outside pickups and potentially even some of the rooms. And since there is a relic there, it might be worth considering it. However, as it is not in logic, it would probably be better to search some other parts of the map.
Yeah, for sure. As we see, Dedew does find, I believe that is the last pickup that is not grenade locked. And Dedew is now realizing that it's going to be TPing out of lower Blackroot, so grenade is now required, I believe, for sure.
And he immediately went to Sorrow TP. So is he thinking, oh, I'm just going to beeline my way to Forlorn?
Still missing one shard though, so would still need that to be able to go into Forlorn. But definitely makes sense to Sorrow is definitely somewhere they can go, and there's obviously it's in logic, I believe, at the moment, so they can get the shards potentially here, or just find other pickups. There's plenty of pickups in Sorrow as well that they can get, especially with Glide, makes it pretty easy to get out of this section. So see if there ends up being anything in Sorrow that maybe we'll find, or if not, we'll see where else it ends up being.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious if there's anything important on left side of Sorrow. The 4 keystone shaft near the tumbleweed has been pretty rich in good pickups lately. At least in my experience, and also in terms of the restreamed matches of the tournament so far. So it might be interesting to look for that, but Dedew is just going to pick up his feather quote-unquote tree, get rid of the kill plane, and we will see if he goes down further. And honestly, with having a Valley Relic, with having some other things to do along the way, not even a bad play if he decides to go for it. Of course, we still need another shard, but there's plenty of pickups on the way. Oh, and he remembers to get the Valley TP. It is very easy to just go down and never get this TP.
Yeah, for sure. And there's the Valley Relic right away. First pickup that he finds in Lower Valley, and another Water Vein Shard, so there's also access to Ginso, and a third one right next to it, so he can now go into Ginso, we'll see. And it looks like Zoo's going to be going straight into Misty instead, which does make sense. There is a Relic in Misty as well, and to actually get anything in Misty at the moment, we're going to still back when Grenade Lock pick up at the end, and the pickups later on are very slow. Including this first one can be very difficult with Climate Charge Jump. It is doable.
They are very slow, and Dedew is only on 5 HP and 4 energy. Resource, okay, he is now on a lot of HP, at least temporarily, but resource-wise, this is not a good Misty play in my opinion, because, well, no bash means the second half is kind of annoying to do, especially if you need to get to the 4th keystone. But yeah, he decides to go for it anyway, someone needs to do it. And it seems like Muffin is following him, but actually also checking some more pickups here and so, or nope, just dipping their nose into one pickup and continuing their way down.
Yeah, another thing I want to note is that Hal did find the Valley TP, so different left side access, but still left side access, and so went there immediately, and that gives Cleanfel a way into the left side, and they're going to be well. There's a 4th Water Vein Shard in Misty as well.
Horror TP in Misty. Very interesting. So that's Horror access. And as I mentioned before, that means that at least some of the pickups are accessible.
Yeah, and there's also another Guan Seal Shard, so all the shards in Misty so far, and a couple in Valley, but lots of shards that they now have access to, and so it means once they get the Relic, soon we'll see Dedew and Buff as well. After, I'm probably just going to be staying out of here immediately once I find the Relic, just going either to Forlorn or Ginso. Both of them are stuff that they can get to now, and both of them have required relics, so I think those would be the most logical plays in the moment. Forlorn does make sense, so you can then get the clues that they need, but we'll see where they end up going then. Definitely for sure Muffin finds the TP, but he has not found the Relic in the first half, so still a few more pickups left in the back. Definitely could be grenade locked for sure, so we'll see how that ends up. If we'll see in a little while where the Relic ends up being.
Yeah. Lots of options. We will have to see how they decide to split up. What kind of tricks they choose to do, what kind of clears they want to do. Yeah, Dedew is still making his way through Misty. Let's see if he can find anything outside of these shards and potentially the Relic. Of course, it would be like the worst case for Team Storytime if the Relic is in fact grenade locked, because, well, they would both have to go back in there.
Yeah, and this would be a bit unfortunate, but I think at this point they're really just hoping that Dedew finds it soon, or if not, then they're gonna have to go back. And they would also notice that Hal, when he found the 2 Water Vein Shards in bottom of Valley, just instead of going into Misty, instead just took those and went straight into the bottom again. So he's gonna be doing those checks instead. But Clean is going to be going into Misty as well, so we'll see now. 3 runners in Misty. We'll see if there ends up being a relic found. There's 3 more pickups left that you can get in the bottom left. See if there ends up being in here that is needed. Or if the relic
I think he's
is
trying to get to this XP pickup, which, with the skills he has, is... I don't even know if it's possible. So yeah,
If it is,
he's giving up on it.
it's
Probably
incredibly
not quite possible. So that leaves only Gumon's seal for him.
Yeah, that pickup is incredibly difficult to get with just this skill set. We'll see if Muffin ends up trying to go for this, or and if maybe Dedew and then go back to the save that he has, and will then be able to just go back and get that, try to get that pickup. It is very, very difficult, but we'll see. Al has made his way up the Ginso tree all the way to the Bash tree. Hasn't found the relic yet there, but did find a charge flame. So not the most useful skill. Is logical blue break axes though, and is nice enough to dash every plant. But we'll see. Relic is still needed here in the ends of Ginso, as well as the one in Misty. So still more pickups up in checking.
I just have no idea who's in the lead right now. They both did very similar things, both teams, and I would say Team Storytime has a they don't even have an advantage because Clean has checked, or J-Hall rather is checking Ginso trees, which Team Storytime hasn't done yet. Okay, but it's time to do on the bottom left. Is it the relic, or do they have to return?
Yeah, 1/3 chance at this point. That does end up being the relic.
Oh, it is.
And it is.
That is so incredibly lucky for them.
Yeah, definitely. It's at that point, is you're the runner, you're kind of really feeling this to do, and Muffin, you're kind of feeling relieved that the play that they end up doing to go into Misty does end up paying off because they know they had to get to the end, but they don't have to do it again, which makes it feel so much better. As Dedew has now gone up and so and we'll see if Dedew ends up going straight up to the top. And from what Al has done, I believe we know that the relic is up here in the top or in the escape. Hasn't found it yet. Doing the section that Al's doing the bottom left, bottom right without Ash is difficult, and also doesn't have enough keystone, so we're gonna have to key dupe to get to the top. But we'll be able to do that, as see if Dedew actually ends up being the one to find the relic first, just because he got the DP.
Yeah. I think the idea here is that they can split up once Muffin has his Gumon seal, and I was scared for Muffin there for a second. 1 HP right next to his line. Whew. But he did it, so now he's going to get his relic as well. And we will have to see how far Cleanfel is gonna go in this. He is already on his way to Keystone 4. And I wouldn't be surprised if he also decided to just finish it out. And hope it is on the relic.
Yeah, and it's just we'll see if Clean ends up taking time to go and check that extra XP, or just decides to go straight into the Gumon seal. Clean is not there, so see what he does. That's Dedew and are still again, so Dedew is not opting to go down. It does make sense to go down here, so because there's still plenty of
oh my god,
pickups to the bottom.
Bottom right. Oh, let's go! He did it! J-Hall doing the core skip in a randomizer. That's amazing.
And
that's content.
Oh. That is not normally the method that you would use to do that, because normally you have bash, but what he has to do there instead is get Ultra Magnet so that you can get the enemy farther away out the Rocky's XP, go to him and or the Frog's XP, and so that he can then get the level up. Because normally you could bash that frog up to the top and make it so that you just get the XP right away. You don't even need magnet, but unfortunately that requires bash, and the seed has no bash.
Yeah, and we will have to see what Dedew is going to do about this now, because he's also at the point where it's either for him, at least, the two pickups in the bottom of Ginso or in the escape. And yeah, spoiler, it isn't the escape.
Yeah, along with wall jump.
So yeah, we will have to
Yeah.
see what he decides to do on the right side, because you either need to redirect it, the shot, or you need stomp, or do core skip. So
And
yeah,
it doesn't quite have
decides
enough
to
XP to do the core skip, so we go up for now. See if it ends up checking those bottom two pickups first. Can do a redirect with C-Flame to find the C-Flame. It's a bit annoying for sure, but and there Hal finds the relic. It's the last pickup before the end of the escape is just going to go and altar out, and we'll see. Looks like Clean did end up as we're that ended up going through Misty and is going to be finding his Gumon seal or his Misty relic on the Gumon seal in just a few seconds. Well, more than a few seconds once he grabs the orb and brings it all the way over. It does take a little longer than that.
So just to reiterate, we have a relic on Gumon's seal, and we have a relic on the second to last pickup in Ginso.
Yeah.
This is content.
Yeah. We'll see if it ends up being on right side forlorn as well, which Muffin will be the first runner to find out, as he's the first one to go into forlorn in the top left. As Al's not going to be going into Misty. Clean is getting his relic on the Gumon seal. That's definitely not confusing.
And yeah, good point in chat. How many keystones does J-Hall have? I think he realized as well, because he was a Misty with no keystones. And you really don't want to be in front of that keystone door and realize, oh yeah, I don't have anything. So
yeah,
instead is opting out to go out of Misty again.
Yeah, it does just get the Horror TP, and then just exits out and is going to check 7 Horror. It's a bit difficult, especially with no Bash and Stomp, but you can definitely check the pickups in the main room for now. Dedew is following right behind as Muffin finds another Sunstone Shard in Forlorn. Not very useful at the moment, but still, just meaning that the access to Horror is locked behind Forlorn, so see where Muffin.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But there's nothing in the main room, so interesting to see what our runners decide to do. Muffin not finding anything for his troubles in Forlorn yet. I'm kind of wondering where Bash is in the seat, because it has a lot of possibilities where it is, and I'm kind of still suspecting left Sorrow, far left Sorrow.
Yeah, definitely could be something they can get. They have access to, but it's not something the runners want to get to. Nice Forlorn TP, really good Forlorn TP location. We'll see in Forlorn. Very useful. As it does need to do the key dupe. As realistic that he has, but too much health, and there's a pickup that Clean just found that Muffin did actually not check, which is he just found Stomp outside of the entrance to Forlorn. So it'd definitely save a bit of time if the relic ends up being Stomp block, which at this point there's a 2/3 chance that it is. Muffin does have Grenade though, or not Grenade, Muffin has Glide, so would be able to go through the escape pretty quickly, but still it does take extra time, and that's something that we can definitely note. But we'll see in a little bit on Muffin's screen in the top left if the relic ends up being Grenade locked, or ends up being Stomp blocked or not. But it's probably going to go to the escape anyway, because then you can get the Grenade clue, and Grenade is required to go into lower black room for the relic there.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing how long it takes Team Storytime to get that Stomp pickup, because they already have the Valley Relic. They don't really have a reason to check those 3 pickups outside of Forlorn. Outside, of course, of still needing Grenade or Stomp. But then again, Muffin, as you said, is about to get the hint anyway, so we'll know where it is, and we'll probably go there. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of dungeon action right now. Literally all 4 runners are in a dungeon. And none of them are in Ginso, so you can tell how this seed went. And Muffin with the SA in the escape. Yeah, I'm hyped. We have so much cool stuff. Okay, J-Hall now going into lower Blackroot. Probably just going to get the teleporter
I
for
don't know.
easier access later and kind of waiting. Maybe
Yeah, there's
for
also a
Clean
Gumon
to
Seal
do
Shard
this.
here. Gumon Seal Shard here, so it's required to get to the escape or to get into Forlorn. So it's going to be being that as Muffin finds that Grenade is in Sorrow and Stomp in Valley. And Dedew's going to go straight into Sorrow with that information.
Yeah, and Muffin is unfortunately taking the wrong way towards Valley is going to check the old skilled area first and then going towards where the... Oh, actually none of them have checked Valley entry yet.
I believe Muffin checked some of the pickups in Valley entry at some point. I don't know if he checked everything. So probably didn't get the plant, but I saw him get the ability cell at the bottom for sure. Checking these pickups also makes sense. It's not in logic to get this far, but still it's something that they can check. And still, there's the same amount of pickups here, or more pickups here actually. There are that compared to what Muffin hadn't checked in Lower Valley, so it does make sense to go here first, just based on the amount of pickups that are left. So we'll see. We know that Grenade is now in Sorrow. We'll see where Dedew finds it, or as well as if he finds Bash on the way too.
Yeah, teleporting back to Valley on the side of Muffin now, so he's going to check even more pickups where we know Stomp isn't. Whereas J-Hall is just belanding there. He knows where it is, and he has a good way there, so he's going there. Has a full Gumon Seal shard, Gumon Seal, so can go there as well. And Cleanfel also doing the escape, so much escape action. But yeah, it means that Clean can immediately go towards where the relic is. Where we know the relic is, at least. We of course haven't seen it, but unless both runners missed something, it is on far right. And I do believe they've checked everything, so...
Yeah, Clean did find it in far right, I believe, before he went to the escape. So, does have that knowledge. On the tracker, Clean does have the relic, so it's going to be then moving the escape, because it's still nice to have the clue, and they still need grenades, so it does make sense. As I was following into Misty, and it looks like Muffin is about to find the Stomp, and gets that news now, and it's going to be going back. She's going to be going back to Valley first, and we'll see where it goes with that. And Dedew is going to be making his way through Left Sorrow to see if he can find the grenades. See what you said earlier about Bash potentially being here, which is true as well.
Yeah, maybe it's grenade. Or maybe it's both. We will have to.
Maybe the Bash is the grenade lock pickup here.
Oh, that would be fun. I don't think they would get it in that case.
Yeah, probably not. Doesn't have sense at the moment, so you can see that as...
But yeah, this is a seat that both required Bash, Stomp and Grenade. And there it is.
Yeah.
Immediately altaring out.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to know after the seat is done if Bash is in there as well.
Yeah. We'll see if it ends up being there. Definitely. Yeah, we know for sure. We'll see. Or it's just like kind of looking at the relics now for both sides. As we still Storytime do still need the Forlorn relic, the Lower Blacker relic, and the one in Mount Horu. Those last two are still needed, both teams. But Storytime do know where the relic in Sorrow is, or not in Sorrow, in Forlorn is. That would just take a bit of time to get into. Dedew's probably gonna go and get that now while he's here. As Muffin's gonna be finding the Ginso one soon. And otherwise that's all that both teams need, so just Made. And then Horu can still be a bit difficult, especially without Bash. Getting to the very top of Horu is very difficult, so we'll see if how that ends up going, if they need to go all the way up to R1 or L1.
Oh no, Dedew! No! No! Okay. Wanted to hug the void there for a bit.
It's
but
fine.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Nothing to see there.
Yeah. In terms of the actual relics that we found so far, I believe that Spurbath are like slightly in the lead. What I'm seeing so far. Both runners do have 5, whereas on the other side, Muffin does now have 5, and is going to be going to wait for Forlorn to get his 6th. But there are knowledge of 6 from the Bird Path, so this dude now is just going to be getting his 4th once he gets this one. So it's a bit of an advantage for Bird Path in terms of relics for now, but still we'll see where Haru and Forlorn end up being. The Bird Path haven't found the grenade yet. We're just gonna find it within like 20 seconds and left Sorrow, but still definitely say a bit of advantage there for Storytime that they've gotten that first. But Clean and Hal can just go straight to Blackroot, and Clean's gonna do it right away. Go straight into Blackroot. So
yeah, I just want to point out that grenade jumps are definitely an advantage for Team Storytime. I think it's safe to say that Muffin has the best knowledge about, well, how to aim grenade jumps and how to know what you're doing with them. So, yeah, they can potentially save Team Storytime a bunch of time. Not saying that Bird Path doesn't have them, but I'm not too sure how familiar everyone on their team is with them. However, yeah, as you mentioned, the relics are kind of in favor of Bird Path, at least a tiny bit.
yeah, the other thing I want to note with that is like Sword Truck that we've noted is that Clean still has to do all of Ginso. It does not have the Ginso TP, which was in Grotto Vault. It's probably not going to go and get that. So Clean is now going to have to go and climb all the way up to Ginso, which definitely will take some time. It knows exactly where the relic is, but it's second pickup from the top, which will definitely take at least a couple minutes to get. So as Dedew is able to just TP straight in, is going to get the relic before him for sure. And Al also has to do Misty, so that's the other thing to note. Is that also takes some time for sure. But we'll just be able to go straight to the end. But it's an area that, well, they're ahead on relics, but the relics that they still need to get are the ones that do take a while.
That is very true, and we still don't know where the Blackroot relic is. If it is on the long swim, none of the runners currently have the resources to do it. I think, especially without Bash.
Clean did find the Blackroot relic. I believe it was the grenade lock pickup next to the grenade knockability cell in the grenade tree area.
Totally messed up.
Yeah. Or is this one of those? It's like he was just there for a little while and then got it and left right away because it doesn't need to go into the swim. So that's definitely something that feels nice, especially for
Dedew.
Did die once so far, but it's a grenade jump, and as a relic doesn't actually need to go all the way in. As long as he doesn't die is fine, and the water will just cover the screen and not do any damage because it's an altar.
I thought Dedew was on Team Storytime, not on Ori's Bird Bath. It's taking a bath for sure though. And yeah, wanted to go for the swamp relic probably, but altering out underwater.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely better to go just here this way to swamp. If you would have, instead of dying, let's say going straight into swamp is a bit faster, but not dying is also faster. So see as Clean is made his way up the climb all the way to the top of Ginso, and is going to be making his way to the escape now. But Muffin is now already in all the way in Haru, and so as a Blacker Relic, and now as we've been saying, this Muffin is now on 7 of 8 relics and just needs to be able to get this relic in Haru. It could take a while, and we'll see how ends up two teams end up going through the routing in Haru. Dedew still has to do this grenade lock pickup in Lower Blackroot, and then we'll be heading to Haru as well. Al needs to finish Blackroot as well as once he gets the Seal at the end of Misty, whereas Clean just needs the relic in Ginso.
Yeah. Ginso now being finished by Clean, of course. J-Hole still in Misty, so both still on the cleanup crew. Muffin has knowledge, some of the knowledge at least, of where to go to, or where not to go to on the side of Dedew. They will probably split up. We will have to see how they are going to split up and how they are approaching the possible R1, L1. Because, well, without Bash, that definitely isn't easy, and neither of them has a lot of ability points. So, you can't really do a lot of zombies.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that we'll definitely keep in mind as we get further towards the end of checking through horror, see if we find the relic. As Clean has now gotten his relic in the top of the Ginslow tree and TP'd straight into Mount Haru. So 3 runners in Haru now, as I will be joining them soon once he gets this final relic, the Gumon seal. As you see, he was going to be checking R2 here, and Muffin is in R3. We'll see if the relic ends up being one of these nice locations. That's a lot of XP, multiple sides, as Hal does not have his relic. Actually needs to go to Blackroot as well, so we'll be going and doing that first before continuing a big clean search through Haru.
Yeah, absolutely. Haru, the contender right now, can win or lose the game. But yeah, we have the advantage on the side of Team Storytime. They have the knowledge advantage, having seen more rooms. So if it comes down to R1, L1, once returned in Haru, not quite what they were looking for in terms of brightly colored text. But a sure sight to be seen. We will have to see how they deal now, but because I think it has to be an R1, L1 now? Yeah. Dedew is making his way up, so they have checked everything else, I think. And is having troubles, which, not surprising with the skill set. They don't have double jump for air retention, they don't have bash to, well, just do the intended thing, I think. But yeah, it is looking like... Ooh, yeah. It is either L3, which is also terrible without bash, or L1, L1.
Yeah, none of those rooms are very appealing places to go. We'll see if either runner on because Verbeth ends up actually going up higher earlier. But we don't know. Like, obviously, it makes a lot of sense to not do that because those rooms are very difficult to get. But let's see what they end up doing. Hell is currently in L2. Clean has checked the bottom rooms already, and it's gonna be trying to go higher up.
Oh my god. Dedew having like almost no energy and no health here in the middle of the climb upwards is going to heal up a bit more and then hopefully can make his path up. But this is the hard part. Muffin is slightly ahead, has a few more zombies up his sleeves and is now through. I kind of hope it's on L3. I kind of want to see more of this.
Yeah, we'll see if any of the runners do end up going there. It doesn't make sense to really go there before going anywhere else because it is really awful to do. So on the other side, Hal is in doing R2 as Clean does R3. Both these rooms were checked by Storytime. So relic, we know the relic is not there as Dew is very close to being able to make it up, but does end up falling down. So we'll see if he can get this. Needs one more save and does get it, and so we'll be able to climb.
No! Dice to the fire! No!
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but gets back up, fortunately.
Yeah.
Muffin now checking the R1 pickups, and there it is! Okay. No L3.
Yeah, no L3 required, just gonna be first pickup in R1, so, but still, very difficult relic, for sure. One of the easiest pickup to get in R1, but still, you have to get all the way up to R1 without bash, which is not easy at all.
Dedew struggling with the Baneling.
Yeah, and doesn't have the health to actually get it, just to be able to take a damage boost, because only currently stood a zombie, so has actually exactly 0 health and 0 energy, so it's not an ideal situation to be in.
This is the most zombie Ori I've ever seen. No energy, no health. But yeah, we see Muffin being the first now with all 8 out of 8 relics in the final escape. And that's really in between Team Storytime and taking this is Dedew defeating the Spainling, I feel like.
Yeah. We'll see. It's definitely be very difficult to see. But 'cause he can break the wall, but breaks the wall at the moment, then well he dies. And when you die and you respawn, the wall is not broken. So yeah.
Oh, he didn't need the Baneling, he just took the shot. That's so clever. Okay, J-Hole in the bottom right now, trying also to go up to R1. Where I think Clean is attempting this. I tip my head to you, Clean, but I don't think you will do it. And Muffin finishing now. We'll have to hold Ryan. Right.
We'll be holding right about mid 49, 49-20 something. I think will be his final time. So very, very impressive time for this seed, as both of them in cutscenes on story time at the same time. But Dedew is not quite in the end, and cutscene still in R1, but just gonna be able to get the relic now, and in a couple minutes we'll be able to finish up the seed after going through the final escape.
And Clean, like seriously, wow, that's amazing to attempt. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe some of the more Plando knowledgeable people are aware. Okay, we were getting word it's possible, but I don't imagine it's an easy thing. And Clean also thinks it isn't an easy thing, so is going to do other rooms and will find more despair. Really, that's all he's going to find. Whereas Dedew is choosing violence. Honestly, a choice I can get behind. You know that the other team hasn't finished yet, and you just want to finish it out cleanly. Be able to get that win without, well, getting stuck on door warp.
Yeah, and that's why they know, like, unless both other runners finish, like, within the next, like, 20 seconds, like, together, that Storytime are going to win the match. Because both the out time is the average time of the two runners, so definitely makes sense. We'll see if Dedew ends up going for the grenade jump at the end of the escape. Surprise either way. Going through grenade jumps during the escape, so probably will go for the final one as well. As it's like Al in the bottom right is actually checking some pickups in lower black root with grenade, just trying to find dash, I guess, or try to find bash, not dash. They have dash, but well, he has got to be able to. Has gotten up to the top still, also struggling with the same Baneling, so we'll see if he ends up able to get all the way up to the top, get a shot to break the wall.
He's just zombieing it, dying intentionally to the Baneling and then saving so he can get through. Very nicely done. Dedew didn't have the resources, but he just finished his game. We'll have to hold right for a bit longer as well, and yeah, GG to Team Storytime. They officially now won this match.
And very good, an impressive time, especially like might not be as fast as well since they finished, but like it still is definitely very difficult to see. It's some very, very bad relic spots with R1, right side forlorn, and what is it bad like on the Kumon Steel and Misty are all some and grenade locked in lower black root, so some very difficult relic spots. So still just because of all that, very impressive time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Especially like these relics were pretty good from a viewer perspective, pretty terrible from a player perspective. Or well, if you're into that kind of thing, they were probably pretty fun. Yeah, I just hope that like my hope for Bash is literally above grenade. Yeah. Like the next keystone above grenade. That's where I hope Bash was.
It's definitely possible because as you saw, both teams, like every runner got that, the grenade, and then just immediately left. They're like, oh, I have grenade, that's all I need. But that was definitely in logic, something that had been in logic earlier with just glide and climate charge jump with this RTP, so something they could have done. earlier, so could be possible there. There's some other pickups that they earlier on that they hadn't checked that it could have been. Some of those pickups that you end up, it's like one-offs that you leave up early on that just don't end up going back to check, which happens plenty of times. So see where we find out where Bash is, but for now, Clean, instead of finding the relic, Hal is going to be attempting to climb up to the top here, and hopefully we'll be able to get it relatively soon. This is a very difficult climb to get to the top, as Clean is now in the escape, and will be making his way to the end in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. We sure hope that J-Hole will not take too long for this trick. But honestly, if you have never done this, or if you've only done this a few times, or if the last time you did this has been some time, I wouldn't be surprised if this took J-Hole a bit, especially without double jump.
Yeah, he also has 2 ability points, which is not a lot of ability points. So he can only do a zombie twice. And he's close to level up, so we'll probably be able to get a 3rd, but still, just with the abilities he's leveled up, still won't actually really do much because there's only one ability that he still has that can do. There's only one ability that he still has that can only upgrade for 1 point. The rest of them require 2 points. So.
I think he just skilled something too late, and yeah, there's the.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Which, understandable.
Yeah, understandable. Both teams, they both know that Storytime have already finished, and Clean's about to finish up in just a bit. But still, very, very impressive time from Kuzberbeth as well. Like, this is a very, very difficult seed, as we saw. Doing that climb is very hard. So totally understandable.
Okay, Liftoff, now I'm ready for the spoiler of where Bash was. If it was exactly above the pickup. Horror Fields planned. Oh, okay. Okay. Not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely something they could have checked for sure. But yeah, so meaning that because they got the horror TP, it wasn't something that they were most likely to go back and check. So one of those pickups that you could get, but Horror Fields kind of this area, so you don't always think about that much because it's 4 checks and they're all kind of slow because they're just out of the way. So you don't always think to go there. So definitely a place that they could have gotten, but not something that's always nice and easy to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, while we wait for the runners to potentially join us for an interview, I just want to say we have the finals tomorrow, and we are still in a bit of a lack for volunteers for it. So if you want to help bring our Bizarre Adventurers versus Team Storytime to life tomorrow at 5 p.m. UTC, go and sign up as a volunteer. You can find the information in the Discord. I will probably throw another ping out, but we definitely need some more people. We have 3 hours of Ori coming at you, and yeah, if you have some time and want to help out, definitely sign up. But with that, we have all 4 runners on deck, so let's drag them in. GG.
GG.
GG's.
GG.
Yeah, okay, maybe first question first, and I think what everyone thought. What did you think of the horror relic? Maybe starting with Team Storytime, and Muffin, you can take the word.
Yeah, sure. So basically, our play was we do the mid-room checks, we do the lower room checks first, and then we have the decision of whether or not we feel comfortable with L3. I do know how to do L3 with the skill set. I just didn't want to do it. So we were like, yeah, let's just all go up to R1 and L1. And then if it's not there, then I can coach Dedew through L3 if he needs it. But I had to coach Dedew for my setup for getting up to R1. But we were able to manage that like pretty fine. So basically the hope at that point for us was like, please, dear goodness, don't let them have found Bash. Because if they had found Bash, then there was a good chance we would have lost if the relic was up there. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. And now question to you, J-Hole. We saw you struggle with the trick. Have you gone to R1, L1 without double jump or bash before, or was that you trying to figure it out?
I've done it without bash, but not without double jump. So that was definitely something where it was like, okay, I think I can zombie up this, and then I got stuck in a weird place on the wall the first time, and kind of decided to bail. It was like, okay, let's go look for density and try to find bash. And knowing that bash was super hard locked from the R2 XP amount, it was like, okay, what's really late game on this? And it was like, well, grenade was buried.
Yeah, pretty similar situation. I was pretty much coaching Hal my setup for the climb C jump, like right near that map stone pedestal, to do the little charge jump up. And I was like, okay, this is it's messy, but he had enough ability, so I was like, all right, I'll try to coach you through it. I've done this, I've done this climb before. It's hard, but we had a really nice SLE, so I felt pretty comfortable.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sure.
And next
Yeah, definitely.
question. Oh wait, go ahead, Line.
No, I was just say it's definitely like one of those things that's very difficult to do. So still, impressive just even trying to do it, and we were able to get it done. And the thing I wanted to ask is for team story time is when you both went to left side through the Zara TPs that both of you ended up going into Misty pretty early on, and so like kind of like just kind of your thought for that of like how you're gonna like both end up going to Misty, and like kind of your thoughts when you end up finding that relic at the end and you realize that you don't have to go back through Misty again.
Yeah, finding that relic on the Gummon's Hill was such a big relief. We're really hoping it wasn't like grenade locked, because then both of us would have had to like do all of Misty once again. And like with this skill set, it was like quite time intensive. So, but I think the main reason that Muffin decided to follow me into Misty was because we found a couple shards that we needed,
Yeah.
and that could have like opened up like many paths like after doing Misty. Like it was like a way for us to like have like better splits after doing Misty. So that was like the main reason behind doing Misty, like both of us this early.
Yeah, and like the other good thing too is that like if Dedew's like calling out things like mapstones and stuff like that, yeah, I'll grab them. But besides that, I'm just gonna beeline and catch up with Dedew. So Dedew having like a healthy like minute and a half lead in Misty allows him to be able to do all the checks before I would even catch up to him on Gumon Seal itself. It was a little scary for me because like Dedew didn't know how to do the setup that I did to be able to check that experience pickup by the fourth keystone, which is like a really precise timing on a climb charge jump with a rocket jump. But so I just kind of sat there and checked it while Dedew checked Gumon Seal event location, and so it paid off. And worst comes to worst, then I just would have had to alt-R, or Dedew would have had to alt-R, and then figure out how to get that pickup, or I would have coached him on how to get it if it was where I checked while Dedew was turning in for Gumon Seal. Yeah. But yeah, the
thanks
shards.
for the insight. Yeah, thanks for the insight. And we have, well, more shenanigans happened this seat. That the Ginso relic was also surely something, and Team Storytime was only able to get it after finding that stump. But on Ku's Birdbath, we saw J-Hull with the very nice core skip. Did you have that in mind, or did you just notice your XP and went along with it?
After I grabbed the pickups in the left side of the upper Ginso, I looked at my XP wheel and I go, that looks pretty close. I've got a Spirit Light efficiency. Let's drop a save and look. And it was like 93, which was like just barely more than that frog gives with Spirit Light. So it was like, okay, I can kill the Frankie and then kill the frog and hopefully get close enough. And the charge dash was enough.
That's so cool. I totally forgot about core skip. That's genius.
Yeah. I don't think like any of our XP amounts were like lined up to do core skip. Yeah. So we had to. I was thinking of doing the Sea Flame redirect, but I didn't feel like I haven't done it in a very long time, so I didn't feel like experimenting and then trying to figure it out live.
Yeah, especially because I think at that point both teams knew that you needed grenade, so getting the hint wasn't too bad after all.
Yeah, it didn't. It came to mind like like really late. I was like, oh man, Stomp's actually really useful. I'm glad I checked things on the way to Forlorns because so many things were useful with that Stomp find. So that was nice. Although the getting the hint was forced anyway, so I would have eventually found it as well, but I didn't have to do a double dip there. So that was nice.
Yeah, and maybe going all the way back now that we've discussed the late game stuff. Muffin, you mentioned that one of the things or two of the things rather, you wanted for the seed was early dash and 2 power skills to just effectively clear the map. So with that in mind, was this your seed?
Yeah, totally. I think so. I think like I'm definitely gonna watch this back and see how close or far away it was, but like not having the shards be buried like it was when we faced Bizarre Adventurers, and then just getting power skills was like a really nice comfortable seed for us. What I will say is I'm really disappointed in my execution today. Like I played really bad, but that's okay. It's just something to work on tonight, and then bring that into the grand finals tomorrow. But yeah, no, this seed was my bread and butter. Exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah, I kept saying that you were probably very happy about this. And as you mentioned, tomorrow are the finals, so maybe as some closing questions first to Kuz Birdbath. How did you feel about your performance throughout the tournament, and are you happy with your results?
We made bracket, thumbs up all the way.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
stoked.
GG.
This was awesome. You know, I think we knew that we were gonna be a little bit of a disadvantage coming into it because we were in the previous doubles tournament but on different teams. So now coming together, it's like we don't have that that experience of collaborating and communicating together. But just a month and a half, yeah, I felt we did awesome. Super stoked about it. So I'm very excited to watch the finals tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Good luck to Storytime and Bizarre, who's probably watching for scouting purposes.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think some of Bizarre Adventurers are watching very carefully and have been watching very carefully. And now, going with the question to you, Team Storytime, Muffin, Dedew, how do you feel about finals tomorrow? What do you think about your opponents, and do you have maybe insights about your strategy, or would you want to keep them for later?
Dedew, do you want to start?
Yeah, I think the story is already written. Like it's we're just reading a book at this point. Like yeah.
Okay.
So a bit more like with objective information. So when we watched back the Bizarre Adventures, and I've actually watched back that Swiss match that we lost against them, and we were actually ahead when it came down to hunting down for the final shard that we needed. So that, like, honestly, seeing that feels really good. So I'm feeling pretty confident in like a best of 3 scenario, because I think like skill cap wise we're both very similar, but then just experience wise I have like thousands of hours into the rando, so it'll be interesting to see how that ends up matching up. But yeah, they're amazing speedrunners, they're amazing rando runners, so I'm looking forward to the grand finals tomorrow. But yeah, my goal is to 2-0 them. Yeah.
Yeah, ambitious goal. But with all of that being said, just a quick reminder, the finals are tomorrow at 5 p.m. UTC, and we still need volunteers. So if you have the time, if you are watching anyway, and if you want to help out, please sign up. And yeah, we will see the fight tomorrow, 5 p.m. UTC. Mark it in your calendars. Get your snacks ready. And yeah, with that being said, this was the semi-final between Team Storytime and Kuz Birdbath. My name was Sukil. I was joined on commentary by Lion, Almanar. We had Pupio and Liftoff as our trusty tracks, and Infinite handling the restream. So thank you all for being here and watching, and see you all tomorrow.